Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Everything is Bad New Fangled Motion Picture Show.
Greetings, one and all, and welcome to another episode of the Newfangled Motion Picture Show. I'm your host, Niall.
And I'm Nolan.
And today we're going to be doing a review of Guy Ritchie's newest movie, The Gentleman. And before we get into that, just want to let you know we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review. And then partway through, we'll give you a spoiler warning, and then go more in-depth into the movie after that. Just want to get that out of the way, because it's a Guy Ritchie movie. Of course, there's like a big dramatic ending to spoil.
Yeah.
That's how he rolls. And boy howdy, is this a Guy Ritchie movie. If you don't like Guy Ritchie, or you're just sort of on the fence about Guy Ritchie, don't see this movie.
This movie, I feel, is kind of back to basics for him. It feels a lot like Snatch and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Yeah, it's I mean, and when I say this is a Guy Ritchie movie, he directed it. He came up with the story. He wrote the screenplay. I mean, it is as much of a Guy Ritchie movie. The only way it can be more of a Guy Ritchie movie is if he also was in the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, if you go back and look at his earlier works, I mean, the two big ones that from like his early career that people know of are Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch. And yeah, this is very much along those lines. It's this really intricate, convoluted story and like intertwining a bunch of like outrageous characters who are all like British, street toughs and gangsters and whatnot. Except for Matthew McConaughey, who's, the American. But, it's very, very much so a Guy Ritchie movie. Smart dialogue, some good comedy mixed in there. Both like sight gag type stuff, and as well as funny dialogue, but also like tough gangster talk as well. I mean,
yeah,
it's kind of what he's known for.
Yeah, it's definitely, like I said, if it almost feels like the end of almost a trilogy with
like it could
Lock,
very
Stock,
well
and Two Smoking Barrels and the Snatch, and then this movie.
Yeah, it could exist in the same universe as Snatch. Like, and are we gonna keep saying the whole name of Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels? But
whatever.
I mean, it could easily exist in that same universe. It feels right in line with those.
Yeah, but anyway, I enjoyed the movie a lot.
This was a really good movie, and I mean, we both like Guy Ritchie. I mean, I used to just put Snatch on in the background all the time when I was studying in college until Netflix took it away. I don't know if it's back now, but and yeah, I love that movie. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. And we also both love the Sherlock Holmes movies that he did. And we're also in the minority of people who liked King Arthur, Legend of the Sword.
Yeah, and The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yeah. Oh, Man from U.N.C.L.E. so good. It's a travesty that wasn't a success, that we didn't get more Man from U.N.C.L.E. movies. But this movie is excellent. I mean, if you're at all a Guy Ritchie fan, this is a must-see movie. If you're just a fan of good cinema, this is a must-see movie. And it's really interesting way the story is being told, too. Which isn't really what I expected going into it.
And drop my phone.
Man, I bet Mike picked that up.
No, well.
So yeah, I mean, I can't recommend this movie enough unless you're just like I said, if you are not a fan of Guy Ritchie's style, avoid this movie because it is so very Guy Ritchie. It's like someone was trying really hard to imitate Guy Ritchie and almost went a little far with it. Like,
well, I guess.
I mean, it's just like
it's not like more Guy Ritchie than Guy Ritchie. That doesn't make any sense.
No, but I mean, the last several movies he's done, like he didn't write King Arthur. Right?
I don't know.
I don't think he wrote King Arthur, did he? Oh, yeah, he did the screenplay.
I mean, there's a lot of dialogue in there that felt very him.
Yeah, that's true. But like Man from U.N.C.L.E. felt very much like a Guy Ritchie movie.
I mean, Aladdin was kind of a departure for him. But
yeah, Aladdin, Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows, and that I guess the first one didn't have a subtitle. They're both. I mean, you can tell there's directed by Guy Ritchie, but you could tell that those are also very much like studio movies. So I don't know. It's just like Guy Ritchie set out. He's like, I'm gonna make this movie that I want to make, and no one told him no. No one said you should do this or change that.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, just go see the movie. Highly recommend it.
Yep. So spoiler?
Yeah.
So I think Matthew McConaughey's character. I think Matthew McConaughey just did an outstanding job in this movie. And I mean, it's just every scene with him was excellent. Same thing with Charlie Hunt. I mean, everyone was amazing in this movie.
Yeah, no one did a bad job anyway.
Yeah, Colin Farrell was particularly good, I think.
Yeah.
As Coach. Like, everyone just knows him as Coach.
Yeah. So the interesting framing of this movie is that so Charlie Hunnam plays Ray, who's the consigliere for for Matthew McConaughey. He's got this marijuana empire, right? This organized crime, but he just basically just deals marijuana, but he's anyway, so Charlie Hunnam plays this consigliere Ray, and then shoot, who was it that showed up in his house? Hugh Grant. Yeah, so Hugh Grant plays this reporter,
Fletcher,
who shows up in his house, and like to tell him, basically blackmail him, saying, look, my boss has me doing a story on your boss, and I have all kinds of dirt on him. And so he wants money in order to not run the story. And he also took that and he wrote a screenplay.
Yeah.
And he's just sort of walking Ray through the screenplay. And so he's like, so then this happens, and it'll like cut to the events happening in the movie, and then back to them like having this conversation.
Yeah, sometimes like he'll say something and Ray will be like, that's a bit of a stretch, don't you think? And you're like, okay, took some creative liberties, and then he retells the scene as it actually happened.
Right, and then like when it cuts back, they'll be in like a different place. Like they start off in like the dining room, then they're like out on the patio, like with the barbecue going, and
like
stuff.
In a study, and
yeah, it's kind of amusing. For like he starts off like talking about like we're gonna use anamorphic lenses and like describing like in film terms.
Yeah,
how this goes. It's pretty it's kind of interesting how it like takes you through you're watching the story, and then it cuts back to them just like having a conversation about like the events of the movie.
Yeah, and just, I mean, yeah, it's just a really well done movie. The pacing is really good. I mean, it's a fantastic movie. I don't know why. I think this movie did it
started
get delayed?
off. I don't know. I know it started off with fairly low score on IMDb, but it's gotten better.
Yeah, it's over an 8 now.
Yeah, it was down. I'm pretty sure it was down fairly low at first, and then it started going up.
So here's the thing: is like being a Guy Ritchie movie, as in like typical Guy Ritchie fashion, someone sets out to do something which starts this chain reaction of events, and then at the end, that person is in the exact same position that they started the movie in. Like, I mean, you look at like all the shit that happens to Turkish in Snatch, and then like he sort of meanders his way through it and is basically in the same place at the end as where he started.
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, it's I don't know. I think people just might not appreciate Guy Ritchie and like his style.
Maybe.
I don't know. I just can't think of what. I mean, I didn't go and look at the negative reviews.
I went to look at the user reviews, and I was scrolling through, and when I like passed through like 30 of them, and they had all had like 8 or better, I'm like, are there negative reviews on here? I didn't like bother like going all the way down the list.
Yeah. Well, when it was getting bad critic reviews.
Yeah.
Like when I went to buy the tickets, you know, they show you the Rotten Tomatoes score and the like the user review or user rating on Fandango.
Yeah.
And the critic rating was like in the 30s. And the user rating was like in the 90s or something. I was like, but this is huge discrepancy between them.
Maybe they don't like the C word.
I mean, it's a British movie, takes place in England, starring a bunch of British people who are playing British characters. You're gonna get that. We're not gonna use it because this is going on YouTube.
Right.
But
it starts with a C and rhymes with
punt.
But they use that word a lot.
Again, British gangsters.
Yeah. There was one line that really made me laugh. So, at one point, this character, you probably saw in the trailer, this character falls over a balcony, like several stories, and dies. And then, like, later, this other character is running away from Ray, and he climbs over a wall, not realizing the other side of the wall is a drop down to some railroad tracks. And he falls down there, and he's too injured to move, and then the train runs him over, and then like it cuts to Matthew McConaughey after hearing these 2 stories about people falling to their deaths. Essentially, he's like, Jesus Christ, Ray, you need to invest in some parachutes.
Yeah.
I don't know why that line just stuck with me, and I just thought it was so funny.
I thought it was funny, but you really
I don't know why I don't know why I lashed onto that line. I just thought it was really funny.
Yeah, it definitely really tickled you. But yeah, it's, I mean, the jokes are all delivered like as if they aren't jokes. Like all the funny lines are just this dry sort of Guy Ritchie dialogue delivery.
Yeah.
Just like that joke.
Oh, the other one that really made me laugh was so the Fletcher, Hugh Grant's character, is like this investigative reporter, and he's really good at sneaking around and getting photos and hiding from everyone. So at the end, because he's blackmailing, Matthew McConaughey and his organization, except they have dirt on him, and so character Ray's telling him, says, "You're good," and it shows him like in this like ghillie suit in these bushes, but I'm better, and it like pushes further in, and he's watching Fletcher. He's spying on Hugh Grant also, and he's also like in a ghillie suit.
Yeah, it's pretty silly. Like that particular scene there was pretty silly, but yeah, I mean, really the movie like mostly follows Charlie Hunnam. Hunnam, yeah.
Hunnam. Yeah, I would say the character Ray, Charlie Hunnam's character, is actually the main character. Yeah. If there's gonna be like one main character, it's actually him.
Yeah. Oh, also Jeremy Strong was in this movie.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just but anyway, the yeah, this, I mean, I don't know what more we could say about this movie, but it's just, this was an excellent movie. So, definitely recommend it.
Definitely.
What's our next movie now? Oh, Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey.
Oh, Jeebus. Wait. Is there nothing this weekend? No. Doesn't look like it.
Wait, scroll up.
Oh, we gotta see if we can find The Last Full Measure playing anywhere.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, so... Anyway, so Birds of Prey is should be our next movie.
And Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing else wants to come out and compete against Birds of Prey, I guess.
Okay.
But yeah, Sonic. Oh, Call of the Wild.
Oh yeah.
I'm not particularly excited for that movie, but we're gonna end up seeing it. Yeah, so that's it for February, just 3 movies. And we're gonna see Onward. I'm not super excited personally. But I mean it's the next Pixar movie, so of course we're gonna go see it. Are we seeing The Way Back?
What is that?
That's that Ben Affleck movie where he's the basketball coach.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Bloodshot comes out in March. Is that Vin Diesel comic book movie? Well, we'll see that because that's gonna be a dumb action movie.
Oh, what did I compare it to? Because it's an old Image comic.
Yeah.
But he had the same... Oh, Spawn. He has like the same backstory as Spawn.
Oh yeah. And then Mulan at the end of the month. And then April will probably also be a fairly light month, and then after that though we start getting back into summer blockbuster time.
Yay!
Thank goodness. I hate this doldrum of the first quarter of the month. It was just like
The year.
yeah, that's what I meant. This first quarter of the year where there's just hardly anything. So but yeah, check out if any of that sounds of interest to you, check out our upcoming reviews. Also check out our other reviews. What was the last one we did? Been a couple weeks, right?
Yeah, I never remember what the last movie is.
It wasn't 1917, was it? I think it was 1917.
It was 1917.
Oh, we also haven't seen Doolittle.
Oh yeah.
Man, that's a bad score. Oh, 5.6 user rating on IMDb. That's rough. That is really rough.
I mean, from the trailers, it didn't look that bad.
It also didn't look good, though.
I figured like maybe a 6 to 7.
Oof.
That's what it would wind up being.
That's an oof. That's what that is.
Yeah. Wow.
So maybe we won't see that. But anyway, anything to add to that then, Nolan?
No.
So our last one was 1917. It looks like. So go check that out. Yeah. So until next time.
Yep.
Thanks for listening.
Cheers.
Toodles.